Abdul back for you, man. I'm coming to talk about JC and Young Ill. This battle right here, I was very excited to hear that this was happening. Like, you know what I mean? I think everybody know, well, clearly everybody know, including the rappers, that they are compared. You know, they are real similar in style. I guess which makes Ill the father, considering he came out before the other dude. Man, I guess now is a good time to tell y'all. I was pretty disappointed with this battle, for real. I wanted to see the JC that went at Chilla, and I wanted to see the Ill that went at Rex. That's what I thought I was gonna see, and that ain't what Brotha.Abdul saw. You know what I mean? I don't know how y'all seen it, but I just ain't see it like that. It won't whack, but it definitely wasn't what I was looking for, what I was hoping for. I was hoping for that classic, like, for real. If you've seen any of my predictions or even my dream matchup blog, this was on my mind. You know what I mean? I was thinking that this was gonna be popping. It was not popping. So I don't know. Let me go ahead with that. And I can't even remember who went first. Who did the Ill go first or did JC go first? Man. Kind of pointless. Ill went first. Yeah, he went first. Yeah. All right. So look, he go, and I appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? It felt like a first round. I guess it felt like somewhat of a warm up, maybe. You know what I mean? But Ill, I like Ill, man. Ill had a mean delivery, I think. You know, he wasn't quite as aggressive. You know, he wasn't quite as aggressive as I would have liked to see him. But it was a dope first round, for real. You know, he was hitting him. You know, with steady pressure. And one of the slick lines to me was a slick line, man. You know, I don't know how to score it, you know, but it was a slick line about the seasons. Y'all remember that one? Y'all need to go check that Seasons out. That Seasons was kind of slick, you know. It was a dope first round, so you know I ain't even gonna bar y'all to death. But you get to the JC dude. JC come out, and I saw what I feel like was the worst JC round that I've ever seen. Totally let down by JC's first round, like totally. You know, he had a few lines. I mean, let's be clear. He had a few lines in there, but that does not negate the fact that it was his worst round ever recorded. You know what I mean? He had a slick line that stuck with me too. It wasn't like a power punch. It was crazy, but it was mean. He hit him with the Will Smith Ali line, you know, so he was throwing the niggas punches. Yeah, I thought that was cold, you know. But overall, man, I was just like, come on, man, like, yo, what this dude nervous? This dude, like, I ain't know what was up with dude. It just wasn't the dude that I was expecting to see. Like, he was looking real shy in there. You know, his aggression wasn't there. Man, it was a filler round, for real. Let's call that what it is. Like, homie was filler spitting, like, oh man, filler up, man. It was the worst, for real. I ain't like it at all. You know, I ain't like his first round at all. You know, it ain't even debatable for me. As far as that first round, Ill got that, plain and simple. For sake of the time and not rambling and holding y'all too much on this whole situation, the second round, it might be a debate. You know, it's pretty debatable. JC turned up a little bit. He did give me a little bit more of what I wanted to see from him. You know, Ill was in cruise control. You know, Ill ain't turn up. He ain't necessarily fall off, but I was just like, damn, nigga, you know. I felt like he was taking it light, like he didn't take my man serious or something, which is kind of insulting, you know what I mean, to do, because it don't matter how you feel about your competition. You give them the business. You give them what you got, you know. Don't play with these niggas, man. You gotta set an example from these niggas, especially when you that dude and you giving another dude chance to come up to your level, you know what I mean? So you gotta break the leg off this dude to make sure ain't no more kicking, you know what I mean? He didn't do that. So for that, it was debatable, but even more of I was insulted. So I get to JC just on the strength that I feel like L kind of cruise control, and you know that there is no cruise control in these. And yo, you know better than that. Stop playing. So third round was dope. You know, I feel like they both turned up a little bit. You know, which was real good for JC because JC basically had an incline throughout his battles. Each round got a little doper than the last round. So that was dope. You know, I was feeling like I didn't feel as cheated like as the battle went on. I was like, okay, you know, it was dope. It was building up, man. So the lines was pretty slick for real. You know, they was going. As petty or as silly as it may seem, I gave this round to Ill, man. I gave the round to Ill because the dancing, when he addressed the video, you know, we all know about the video, we all heard about it, but Ill approached it in a real nice manner, you know what I mean? He gave it up in a way that I hadn't heard it before. It was real clever the way he did it, you know, and if you've seen the video, you saw him, you know, and Ill did it just right. Like, homie was, you know, hi Chris, like, I hope you like it. Wow, homo, like, wow, homo. And I was talking to one of the brothers on another joint, the Chiller joint. We was talking in the comments about believability of JC, and I think my man thought I was saying JC wasn't believable because he's a small guy as far as him, you know, shooting or whatever he say he'll do. And it wasn't that, it's just the JC persona has already been aired out. We already see what you are for real. And you're a high Chris kind of nigga. You know what I mean? You hope he likes it. Like, you know what I mean? So when you talk about I hope you like it, and now I'm coming through with the pistols and my goons, cool, sounds nice, great lyricist. Believability is an issue for me with that. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not saying that none of these dudes kill nobody. I hope you get what I'm saying. I don't want to repeat it again, but he did nice. And then, you know, when he pop locked on him, he dancing on him, and he danced through his rounds a little bit. Just a little slight comedy that gave him the edge, you know, because JC did turn up and JC did show up that third round. You know, his aggression kind of came through. I think he realized that he had to do something. You know, he tried to turn up, man, but I had the edge of the Ill, man. Wasn't really satisfied with this battle overall, for real. Both of them dudes can do a lot better. And I believe the last Ill situation, it was kind of shaky again, like, you know, and of course we didn't see it, but we heard about it, you know what I mean? I think it was Ill and Cortez, I believe. But come on, man, we don't want to see that, man. We don't want to see that. And for you guys to be professional, y'all can't be taking no rounds off. You can't take no rounds off. You know what I mean? Dudes were saying I was real hard on Sirius Jones and Clips. But these dudes are arguably, you know, legends and some of the best. And for us to see them come out there and disrespect us, disrespect the whole craft with not, you know, really putting that work in. They didn't really write. They coming out playing and freestyling and all that. Like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's a bad example. You know what I mean? Then you got, yo, I could ramble on about all that. But just keeping it on this particular battle, you know, it was a cool battle, and it was cool. It definitely did not live up to the hype that I had in my mind or the expectations I had in my mind. So, you know, I don't know if I can dock them for that. You know, they were my expectations, right? But let me know, man. You know, as usual, I want to talk about it, you know. I don't do the Twitter thing too much. I got the Twitter, you know, but I don't do the Twitter thing for real. Might shoot something up every once in a while, you know. Y'all can call me, you can text me, I'm available. I'm not the Hollywood type dude. You know, I want to talk about it for real, because like I said in another video, my circle, they ain't really about this. They not into this, and y'all all I got. Abdul. Hey, one more thing, you know, I just talked to my counsel, you know, I forgot to mention, and I think it was a factor. It was definitely it was a factor, it had to be. You know, they was at that new venue, so the crowd, I think they performed in front of a handful of people. And I believe as performers that you feed off the energy of the people, you know what I mean? Like, they liven you up, you know, that crowd make a difference, you know what I mean? So, out of respect for both of them dudes that I really think are excellent rappers, like they're excellent rappers, I gotta assume that all that switching of venues and all that took a toll, you know, maybe mentally on these dudes, you know what I mean? And maybe that's just me just looking for an excuse, you know, but I think it's valid, you know, I think it's valid. I'm going for it this time, man.
My beloved Iron Sheik say, Allahu Akbar. Hold on, I got you.